Everyone, Diligent Karma here with another Palworld video. Now, last time I posted one of these Palworld videos was probably about a month or two ago when Palworld was first coming out. It was pretty much just that, hey, this is a game, this is some of the stuff you can do, um, this is what some of the combat looks like, things like that, just basic video. And a cool little trick you can do with the Pow Balls too. But other than that, that was pretty much all there was to it. Today, I'm going for a little more something a little more specific. So, in your time playing Palworld, what's been the most annoying thing for you to find? Now, if you're like me, your answer was iron ingots, because iron ingots, you use them for everything. You use them for making your bases, you use them for making ammo, you use them for making pretty much anything other than just like wood and whatnot. So one thing about Palworld that I had an issue with is finding iron ore deposits to get those iron ingots. Because, occasionally you come across one here, another one there, kind of. Nothing really like ginormous, just mounds and mounds of iron ore. So after a little looking around and exploring through the world of Palworld, I did come across a couple places which I found that have a pretty solid supply of iron ore to where you can have pretty much set up a little iron farm there and just mine to your little heart's content. So for the purpose of this, I started off with, at the very beginning in the map area, the Plateau of Beginnings. That's where you first wake up and have the pals looming over you when you wash up on the shore and whatnot. And that's, well, actually, technically that's over there. But this is the first actual fast travel point that pops up when you get here. So for these locations, they're actually not too far away. A lot of you who've explored Palworld have probably gone past the Chillet here and then made it to the Pen King in the sealed realm of the Frozen Wing area. So these locations where you can find this iron are just a few steps further. So if you go past here and you get into sealed realm of Frozen Wings, you go through here. Another good point of reference is the Rain Syndicate Tower entrance, which is just right here, not too far from there. There's also, there's the Tower of Rain. And then Bridge of the Twin Knights, and Desolate Church, places like that. And those are just a little ways from that small settlement, which I'm sure a lot of you have come across already too. So you go past all these locations, you get up here into this area, and the location first location for this, as you can see, you get your little coordinates down here on the bottom left, right down there. For this coordinates for this base, it's 92 and negative 264. But we're just going to teleport to the Hypocrite Hill, which is right next to that, and then we'll travel from there. So, going to fast travel really quick. Hypocrite Hill, there we are. Now, Hypocrite Hill is a great area to sort of hang out around. Except for the fact that you do come across this guy a lot. There's often robin quills around here doing their thing, and they can be a pretty gnarly person to go up against at first. They're pretty, and they just look really cool, but they can do a lot of damage if they get really going. In this case, I'm fairly high level and avoiding combat and whatnot, so he's not proving too much of a challenge. One thing about this game is they did, as you just saw there, you can't just throw spheres at random pals like you used to be able to. They did patch that to add a little bit of more balance to things. But this guy, we're just going to go ahead and eliminate him really quick. Good counter to him is fire type, like, Bushi. You can get him from the Sealed Sword Realm, which is another location on the map. Oh, looks like they got him. Nope, didn't get a chance to catch any of them. Well, I already got one of them, so no worries. But anyways, another thing about this area is there's a lot of these Free Pal Alliance guys hanging around. They're kind of obnoxious. Nothing I would really say is hard, but they are just kind of a nuisance. Are we actually going to catch one of them? Looks like we caught a Free Pal Alliance thief out. Well, no worries. We'll make him mine ore or something at some point. All right, so moving on. So where were we going? That's right, the base over here. So like I said, this area in general, it can be a little rough sometimes, but it's mostly just Cinnamoths flying around in your occasional Robin Quill. You got these guys, Floppies, pretty lower level dudes. The only real challenge around here is the Robin Quills, because they definitely put up a fight. But anyways, for this location, this is a location that I do already have a base set up at, which I'm sure you've seen. Oh, it looks like it's currently getting attacked, actually, by Cinnamoth, of course. But anywho, this base here, one thing I like about this base is the fact that it is, there's the large supply of iron. It's really close to a lot of cool pals, because I really like Robin Quill. Gives you good access to other locations. Not too far from here. If you go over here, as you can see, we got a little turret thing. There's another little flat area here. This can also, if you go around this area, actually you have to go up here to the fork area and whatnot, and find some decent pals over here in the deep bamboo thicket. This is where you'll catch Moss Sandas, that adorable little panda dude from the first video I did. But for the case of this, we're just gonna go back to mining. So, like I said, this is a great location. The only drawback, only complaint I really have, honestly, is the fact that the terrain is super not level. I mean, as you can see, we got stuff all kinds of cockeyed. Right up here also, I did try and build a little barrier around the place to sort of keep intruders out. As you can see, it's not super efficient because part of it's deteriorated due to that recent update, to where anytime you build something outside of the boundaries of your PAL box, they slowly deteriorate. So I just have this big gap right there. But as you can see, this building is made out of stone. Previously in my first video, the initial base that I had was made out of wood. Shortly after that video, it was decimated by a band of raiders and some fire pals and whatnot, so that ended poorly. But anywho, like I say, this is a great location for iron. Not too far from the starting location. It's just a short little hop, skip, and a jump. You go through a couple areas, and there you are there. So for the next location, now the next location is actually more of a favorite of mine. I like this one better simply just because of the fact that the terrain is flatter, and you can get a nice view of areas. But we're going to go ahead and fast travel to the lake center, which is the closest real location to that base. Alright, so it is getting to be nighttime, so some of the gnarlier pals are going to pop out. But treasure chest, nice. So we're going to grab this treasure really quick. Not that impressive. Alright, one thing I recommend doing when you get a chance is I do recommend investing in getting a good flying mount pal. And as you see here, I have a Van Worm, which I use. Not my personal favorite, but it's the only one I have a saddle for that can fly at the moment. Being able to fly does make things way, way, way easier in the process. Because otherwise you have to do a lot of hoofing it, and looks like we got another Robin Quill who's aggroing. And there he goes, toasted. Alright, so we're going to hop off here to make this a little bit easier. If you don't happen to have a flying mount to get here, good way to get across this little gap here, because that's where we're heading to get to that base, is to use the grappling hook. Now, the grappling hook is something you unlock fairly early in the game, and then you can expand on it with getting the ancient ancient artifact parts, I think is what they're called. You can use them to make the grappling hook. A lot of some of the higher end stuff. Let's see what we got here. Technology. Ancient technology points, yeah, that's what it is. That's how you make like the egg incubator and grappling hook, pallet essence conductor, things like that. So I recommend the best way to get those is usually just go fight one of them world bosses, or just go through a dungeon, find somebody there, because they do have them in dungeons typically. Dungeons can be a little bit can drag on a little bit sometimes because while they're pretty straightforward, they are pretty straightforward, but there's a lot of turns and in that dungeons that can get you kind of lost, and then there's a lot of usually some fairly decent level pals are in there, and of course you got like syndicate dudes running around causing mayhem. So that always makes it a little more complicated. Usually at the end of the dungeon, you'll come across some big giant pal. In my case, usually it's the something simple like one of the duck dudes, or what's another one that pops up in there a lot? The Yeah, you get Fluck is one that pops up pretty regularly, and Rushroar are the ones that I've seen mostly as bosses for dungeons. They're still working on dungeons, so I reckon they'll get a little bit better further on. But here we are. We have made it to that iron location that I was talking about. As you can see here, there is a phenomenal amount of iron. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little spots for iron, 2 spots for stone, about 7 or 8 things for trees, and also makes things a little easy. You actually have a little source of coal right here too, which is really useful later on in the game because you use coal combined with other stuff to make some of the higher end gear. So higher end ammunition, things like that. And another cool feature about this place, one reason I personally like it, is there happens to be a skill tree right here. So you can pick some nice skill fruits. Like right here, we got the fire skill fruit Ignis Blast. We got the, what's this, grass skill fruit Spine Vine. That's a pretty good one. Kind of flashy. It's the one where usually bristles have it. They'll make a little trail of grass and it just spikes out of the ground and impales you, knocking you down and stuff. But another cool feature about this is if you're into aesthetics, nice view. You got a great view of the world tree right here and that little ice biome. So that's one of the reasons I like this area. And it's not too far from a lot of the other stuff. Like if you're feeling particularly masochistic, you can go over here to the desert biome and you can fight Anubis. And get an Anubis that way. If you can catch the world boss Anubis, he's level 47. He pretty much obliterates everything. So I haven't been able to take him out yet. One thing I recommend doing if you're gonna start doing with building iron and whatnot, getting iron mines, is I recommend getting Anubises because they have they have that level 3 mining capability, and they have level 5 handicraft. So it's pretty much the best handicrafters in the game. So I usually try and get as many of these as I can on my base. Then I power them up a little bit through the Pal Essence device. With this, one way to get Anubis, like I said, is you can go beat that world boss if you feel up for a good challenge. But the best way, the way I got my Anubis, is I just combined a Nightwing and a Rayhound, which are pretty easy to get. You can also combine some of the lower level dudes like Insuram and Serpent. Those will also, you breed those will also get you an Anubis. But so I'll just show you who what the Rayhound is really quick, because I'm sure everybody's seen a Nightwing here and there. But Rayhound's a little bit trickier to come across, but he is really cool. It's only really good for combining to make Anubis, and for powering up your gathering electricity when you get to the point where you need to actually use electricity to power things like conveyors and whatnot on your base. But yeah, there he is. He's pretty cool looking. His habitat, it's usually right over here in this area. That is which area are we looking at here? Yeah, that's just a little ways up there. Yeah, they're pretty cool. You can find, like I said, you can typically find a few of them roaming around there, and then that's, like I said, that's one of the best places to find them. As far as no, that's the only place you can actually find them, is over there in that whole vicinity. Like I said, it is a bit of a hike from this location, but it's absolutely worth it. As you can see, they don't come out at night; they're only out during the day. So Just remember that if you go tracking down some Rayhounds. But yeah, other than that, though, those are the best locations I've come across to find iron. I'm sure there are plenty other ones because, like, the world of Palworld is vast. I mean, as you can see by this map that I haven't even fully explored yet, there's all kinds of cool spots, different types of pals. Definitely a worthwhile investment for a game. But yeah, so that's all we have for today with this. I'll probably do a couple more Palworld videos here in the future. I've mostly been focusing on Overwatch lately, just because Overwatch is one of my all-time favorite games, and I've just been really feeling them first-person shooter team-based games. So yeah, if you like this video and it was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. And you all have a wonderful day out there. Stay frosty.